Hi folks, this is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant, and the title loosely for this particular video blog episode is Finding Your Own Story, or somebody else's. And here's why that's important. When we're creating art for people, and whether that's for profit or just for notoriety, we want to create things. When I say we, that's me and also hopefully you. We want to create things that are always going to resonate with people. While it's fine and crucial to draw for yourself, ultimately what you want to do is do something that's going to connect with other people. And I found one of the best ways to do that is through sequential art. Okay, so you might ask, how do you find a story? You know, how do you get your ideas is another way to look at it. Well, I'll start by telling a story about something I saw on the subway recently. Okay, I live, in an area where we have the elevated trains outside. And, one day I noticed that on the platform, someone had dropped one of those silver Pop-Tart packages. You know, the silver ones that contain the Pop-Tart inside. Well, the person apparently had opened it up a bit, took a small bite, and dropped it on the ground and just discarded it. When I came on the scene, there was a crowd of birds around the Pop-Tart, and they all were fighting for control. There were the bigger birds who would come in and get a little piece of the Pop-Tart, and then another bird would come and peck him out of the way, and that person would try to get a piece, and two more would come and peck that bird out of the way, and while they were busy fighting, another bird would try to come in there, and around the perimeter of all of these bigger birds fighting were the little birds, little tiny, teeny weeny little birds who were trying to rush in and get a piece, and they got chased away by the bigger birds. But every now and again, one of the little birds would get in, and there was this whole commotion going on. And I was fascinated by the whole scene. It was hysterical and tragic at the same time, which I'll tell you in a moment. And I looked around to see if anybody else was noticing what was going on, because this thing was heavy drama. It was hilarious. But nobody else seemed to notice it. Anyway, I looked across the platform on the opposite side, and suddenly another figure appeared, and it was a giant seagull. And let me tell you, seagulls are big. Seagulls are gigantic. When you see them close up, they've got, I'm going to turn this off so it doesn't interrupt me. Seagulls have incredible wingspans. And the seagull saw everything which was transpiring with the birds, with the Pop-Tart, with the fighting, and suddenly he realized he had had enough. So the seagull comes over, and he's so big, he's dwarfing. All the birds are dwarfed by his sheer size and strength. They all just scatter. They all just get out of the way. Seagull comes along, picks up the Pop-Tart in his mouth, flips it up in the air. The Pop-Tart, I'm serious, the Pop-Tart falls into his mouth, eats it, then he just flies off, leaving them with nothing. And I was fascinated by this modern day parable that was in front of me. There was enough food for every bird who wanted to get food. There was more than enough, because like I said, it was a whole Pop-Tart with just a little bite, taken out of it. And it was enough for everybody if they just cooperated and shared. And this one bird who saw the situation just came and took everything. And now these birds had nothing to eat that day. Now you take a situation like that, that's a good story. And it resonates on so many levels. It resonates socially. It resonates politically. It resonates on a personal level. It touches gender issues, it touches social economic issues, it touches racial issues, anywhere you want to go, just by observing. I noticed that. And that, folks, is how you develop stories. It's not so much of racking your brain and being creative. You can do that, but it's a much easier way just to keep your eyes open and observe the world around you and let that story just kind of unfold in front of you. So my creative exercise for you guys to do today and in the days to come is just open your eyes and look for the stories that are around you. They're all over the place. And once you find them, write them down, and then you can start illustrating them. And then you'll have something dynamic and unique, to share with the world. So this is Elgin, Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant. That's my tip for today.